Right here, we breaking down the best plays of Week 6. First off, we got Brent Roberts, probably one of the most underrated players in the country, probably the most athletic tight end in the country. Just look at this. Beats him on the corner. He got one man to beat. He said, "Get off me," and he just gonna run past everybody. He's gonna run by everybody. Nobody can catch this dude. This dude's an elite athlete. He's strong and he's physical. What more do you want from a tight end? Look at, bro. He just said, "Get off me." Threw him out the club. 6. And watch here, Jeremy Smart. Look at this move right here. Made him miss in the phone booth. Ooh. This is a critical play to keep the drive going. Next, we got Lewis Smith. Just look at this. He did get beat right here, but he stopped him on third down. But look at the way he lunged at him and made the tackle. Look at that explosiveness. Look at this. Ugh. Right here, we got John Riley. Look at this throw. The blitz coming right at him. Dude lunged right at him. He threw it right on the money. Big time arm. He got smacked and he threw it. Look, he threw a dime. Hey, he did get help from the receiver though. Receiver got some burners on him. 6. Maurice Brantley gets clamped immediately. Look at the sack he got on Doug McLaurin. Way to keep fighting. Way to keep pushing. Get off me. Big time play. Brett Nugent. This is an unbelievable throw by Raymond Rodgers. This is 2-man. They playing 2-man on him. And he throws a dime. First of all, you're not even supposed to attempt that throw. Second, he knew he got a speedy receiver that can beat somebody. And look at this. This is just a perfect ball placement. Right on the money. Right here. I love this play right here from Tyrone Akiki. They playing cover 3. He knows what's coming behind him. He should have caught the pick. Yeah, I understand. But just look. Hey, making big time plays right here. This is a subscriber. Legarius. Yeah, he got the burners. Legarius Kings Jr. Such a beast. Yeah, then he gonna put up the deuces. The fight on. He got the burners. Run away from everybody. Alright, so now we gonna break down the top 25. Some of the teams where they ranked. These are the best teams in college football so far, according to the AP poll. At number 1, we got Oklahoma. OU, they beat their rival Texas last week. Impressive win. Number 2, we got TCU. TCU, 5-0. They number 2. Let's see how that's going to shake out at the end of the year. Auburn, number 3. They did have a little bit of fraudulent wins earlier this year, but so far, Auburn, they deserve that ranking. Virginia. Now, this is the team I think is fraudulent. We'll see how the rest of this season plays out, but I just think that they winning some games. I don't think they really have the talent to be a top 4 team. Number 5, Army, another fraudulent team. Yeah, they do run the hell out the ball, but I mean, that defense, bruh, when they play against a team with some real talent, I don't see that shaking out like that. Number 6, Tennessee, 5-1, okay. USC, number 7, 6-1. Baylor, number 8, 4-1. Oregon, number 9, 4-1. Fresno State, what I said about them earlier. Hey, I like what they doing. Now, are they a legit top 10 team? No, but they got some players on the team. They not bad for a group of 5 team. And they deserve to be ranked. They deserve to be ranked in the top 15. I just don't think they're a legitimate top 10 team. Number 11, Texas. They were undefeated, took that L to their rival OU. They still got a chance to get into the playoffs. So, I mean, hey, Texas, keep your head high, keep fighting. ULL, Louisiana, number 12, 3-1. Michigan State, number 13, 4-2. They were 17 last week. Texas A&M, Vontae Austin, the best player in college football in my opinion, leading the way. They 5-1 that only lost to Tennessee. which is the number 6 team, and that was a close nip and tuck ball game. Clemson 5-1. Okay, Clemson, they got talent on the team, but are they playoff contenders? We'll see. Iowa 4-1. They ranked number 16. Took that L to Michigan State. They were undefeated. They were ranked number 9 last week. Penn State, like I said, they might mess around and win the Big Ten East. You never know. Penn State 5-0. They were 23 last week. They 17 this week. Let's see how the rest of the season shakes out. Ole Miss, they were 13 last week. They number 18 this week. They took that L to Auburn. It was a very good game, nip and tuck ball game. They do got LSU this week. LSU 4-3, climbing up just a little bit in the rankings. They were 20 last week. They 19 now. They beat Florida 21-17. Georgia Tech, like I said, this is a team that's better than what a lot of people think, because they did have a losing record. They 3-3 right now. They ranked number 20. Hey, Georgia Tech, just watch out for them. Could run the table, go 9-3. Florida State 3-2. They were 22 last week. They 21 now. Stanford 4-2. They were 18 last week. Took that L to Oregon. They 22 now. App State 5-2. They were 24. They 23 right now. Kansas took that L last week to TCU. They were 19. They 24 right now. And Nebraska stayed put. Didn't play nobody. They 4-1. They were 25 last week. They 25 now because they took that L to Ohio State. And now let's recap what happened in the top 25 last week. Clemson won the game against Louisville. A little too close for comfort for a team that's trying to get into the playoffs. Louisville's 1-6, not a very good team at all. Texas A&M, I love this game. Very, very, very great defensive game. No team scored an offensive touchdown. The only touchdown in the game was from Texas A&M, and Vontae Austin had a strip sack that was recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. Oregon, they beat Stanford 24-13. Oregon, they looking good, number 9 in the country right now. Fresno State had complete control of this game from start to finish. They won 20-6. Army and Buffalo. Buffalo, they do got a couple good players. Very nice tight end. I really like him. But Buffalo's defense is food, and Army can run the ball. I'm still not sold on Army being a legit top 5 team. They're going to take a L sooner than later. Oklahoma and Texas. Man, very great game. Two bitter rivals going at it. Whoever was going to win was probably going to be number 1 in the country. But, hey, Texas, they still got a shot. They could still beat Oklahoma again in the Big 12 championship. Before, next year they going to the SEC. Michigan State and Iowa. This is a surprise. Michigan State, they were ranked 17, whipped up on Iowa, had complete control of this game. Iowa didn't stand a chance. Iowa was actually undefeated and in the top 10. Auburn, Ole Miss. Auburn, still top 3 team. I was a little bit skeptical of them because, some of the unimpressive wins. But, hey, Ole Miss is a legit team. Beat them. Tennessee and Houston. Tennessee, 56 points. Hey, that defense is definitely suspect. Only team they shut down on defense was Texas A&M, and that's because Texas A&M's offense is terrible. But, yeah, 56 points. Very impressive. Baylor and Texas Tech. Baylor, top 10 team. Beat them 37-7. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech, whipped up on Virginia Tech, 52-24. Virginia and Pitt, man. Virginia, I don't think that they are a legit top 4 team, but, handle business, beat Pitt. App State, Arkansas State. Is App State really a top 25 team? We'll find out later in the season, but, they did what they were supposed to do. They beat Arkansas State. Not a very good Arkansas State team, but, they won the game. LSU and Florida. A lot of talent on this field in this game. Very interesting game to watch. John Riley just made the plays when he needed to make them. So LSU won 21-17. And that's why they ranked number 19 right now. USC and Utah. Too close for comfort for the Trojans. 30-27. Utah's winless. And this ain't the NFL. They ain't getting no number 1 draft pick. They ain't trying to tank or nothing. They just ain't good. So USC, they better tighten up a little bit if they try and make the playoffs. Penn State, Indiana. Man, 28-21. Penn State, like I said earlier, fighting to stay in that Big Ten East range. Next, we got TCU and Kansas. TCU spanked Kansas 37-14. Man, they whipped up on them, man. Hey, Kansas, hey. You know, it did sound cute earlier in the season, but I don't think they really gonna do nothing. So right now, Steven Atkins, this is sorted by quarterback rating. He's hurt right now, but 513 passing yards. You know, he had 256 per game. This dude in 2 games threw 9 touchdowns with 1 pick. Doug McLaurin, man, putting up big time numbers. 251 per game, 15 touchdowns, 3 picks. Aaron McCullum, 274 per game, 14 touchdowns, 6 picks. Brandon Bates, 200 yards per game, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. Antonio Butler, 164 per game, 12 touchdowns, 1 pick. Keenan Jones, 226 per game, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. Deion Williams, 204 per game, 17 touchdowns, 2 picks. Bill Brown, 235 yards per game, 16 touchdowns, 1 pick. Raymond Rogers, 275 per game, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. Mike Smith, 281 per game, 14 touchdowns, 4 picks. You see all these dudes putting up big-time numbers so far. You know, and then it's a drop-off after that. But, these guys is putting up numbers. And right now, rushing the ball, man, Brian Williams, this dude stepped up ever since Aaron George got hurt. 1,100 yards, almost 1,200 yards, 6 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns. Man, that's big-time numbers. David Jacobs, 925, 6.2 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. Josh West, 890, 7 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. Robert Roth, 764, 6 yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. Chad Wood, 763, 6 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns. Gabe Johnson, 756, 7 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. Joe McCullough, 742, 6 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns. Maurice Holiday, 713, 6.9 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns. You see these other dudes, Matt Brown, 688, 6 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. 688 for Ronald Johnson, too, 6 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns. Matt Covington, probably one of my favorite players in the whole country, 665, 6.6 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns, man. That's a lot of dudes putting up numbers so far this year. The receiving so far, Tommy Tatum leading the country in receiving, 803, man, 15 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns. Mike Powell from Rice, 777, 14.6 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns. Edward Rivero, almost 700 yards, 14 yards per catch, 7 touchdowns. Mike Stewart, 643, 12 yards per catch, 5 touchdowns. Patrick Greer, 609, 15 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. Mike Hill, 594, almost 600 yards, 18.5 yards per catch. That's crazy. 5 touchdowns. Will Smith, 575, 14.7 yards per catch, 3 touchdowns. Justin Malone, 575, 17.44 touchdowns. Reggie Kent as a tight end. This is crazy. 547, 14 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns. Man, this is crazy. Tony Cooley, you see, from Coastal Carolina, 546, 15.6 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. Brent Roberts, one of the most explosive players in the country, 539, 14 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns as a tight end. This dude is a beast. Adam Johnson, you see all these dudes. Britt Nugent, man, putting up numbers. It's a lot of dudes. Andy Brewer. And right now, we all know Vontae Austin leading the nation in sacks, and he's a defensive tackle. 11 sacks. This dude is insane. Corey Reed, 7.5. Brandon Walker, from Ohio, 7.5. Chad DeLuca, 6.5. John Miller, 6.5. Andy Ingram, 6.5. Preston Franklin, Texas A&M teammate Avante Austin, 6 sacks. Justin Outlaw, 6 sacks. Dwayne Waters, 5.5. I love him as an edge rusher. John Davis from Ohio, 5.5 sacks. Ohio does have a lot of good defensive players when you look at their roster from top to bottom. Jeff Owens, Jake Evans. There's a lot of guys that's performing well so far this year. And this is ridiculous right here. Vontae Austin, 26 tackles for loss. Man, that's crazy. Corey Reed, you see all these other guys with these high tackle for loss numbers. Brandon Williams leading the country in picks right now, 6 interceptions. Terrence Moore from Clemson, 5 picks. Maurice Sullivan, 4 picks. Reggie Taylor, 4 picks. Tony Finley, great corner, 4 picks. Jonathan Mills, 4 picks. Kevin Sims, 4 picks. Mark Greer, 4 picks. Eric Houston, 4 picks. Walter Britt, 3 picks. Stuart Newton, 3 picks. You see all these other guys with 3 picks. These are all good players. If you want to be included as a character in the Reason Sports Network universe, then this is the video for you. In the Reason Sports Network, we make content for high school football, college football, and the NFL. You can be a character in our series and see yourself evolve from high school to college to the pros. If you want to be a part of this, then fill out the form that's in the description. When you fill out the form, make sure to choose only one level of football. Choose either high school, college, or the NFL. If you choose multiple levels of football, then I will select the smaller level. For instance, if you choose a high school and a college team, then you will start your career in high school. If you choose a college and an NFL team, then you'll start your career in college. If you start your career in the NFL, then you'll start off as an undrafted free agent. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for filling out the form and wanting to be part of the Reason Sports Network, and enjoy the content.